What's up, YouTube? This is Crazy316, and this will be a little bit of a response to OneWingedAniki's new super long 5-part, super opinionated video. So I'm just going to shrink it down to the actual points. First thing he says is that he questions the credibility of One News Now. That's perfectly fine. At least he didn't say it's completely false. But he questions because he can't find the quotes that they made in any of the government websites. So, whatever. Okay. Secondly, though, he goes on to mock the Christian faith and, well, not really necessarily the faith, but he mocks our position on this bill. And he goes to post a video on his part 2 and part 3 of his videos. There's a video from the other side showing the Philly 11 preaching at Outfest. Now, he claims that this video shows people being disorderly and not listening to the police and stuff like that, but in his own video you can clearly see that these people are doing nothing wrong. So, what he's doing is this. He says he considers somebody saying you're going to go to hell if you continue in this lifestyle. That's hate speech. So OneWingedAniki now confirms what I say about somebody considering preaching on the Bible hate speech. So that just confirms, you know what I mean? He's making a video against me, but he's like helping me out here. And it's funny, it's hilarious. So by his logic, preaching on the Bible in the areas of Sodom and Gomorrah and Romans 1 and Leviticus, even though that's part of the Mosaic Law that has been nailed to the cross, and that's stated in several scriptures all over the New Testament and stuff, that we don't have to follow that law. The 10 Commandments are eternal, so he just confirms what I had to say about people considering it by his own opinion and by their own opinions. So that's funny. I'm going to post links somewhere on here starting exactly where the video of Outfest starts at, and you can clearly see that they're doing nothing but preaching. Of course, the guy behind the megaphone, he threw in a couple of smart aleck remarks, but that's not being disorderly. It's not being ungodly. And there's nothing wrong with what they were doing. So this guy continues to make videos, and nothing that he brings up actually adds to his argument that actually helps mine out. So let's move on. So after the video, he just goes on to spout off about how dare those homosexuals use pink angels and whistles to obstruct the message. I believe there's a law in Pennsylvania where using pink angels and blowing whistles at people to annoy them or obstruction is illegal. I'll try to find that, but let me see, what else? He's just pretty much mocking what we say, even though none of his videos have a lick of credibility that add to his argument. So the next point that this guy tries to make is that religion is a protected class in this country, and it's a choice. There's nothing genetic about that. Why? Okay, first of all, religion, freedom of religion, the First Amendment is the reason why we came over here in the first place and decided to cut away from and war with England. We are a protected class because that's what this country was built on top of, the freedom of religion, the choice of whatever religion that you want to follow and not be subject to the tyranny of England and the Roman Catholic Church, which was not a religion. It was more of a political thing. They were the ones that started all kinds of crap and wars. It wasn't religion, it was the Roman Catholic Church, which was political. And there's a video on that I already posted in another video showing that example of how it wasn't religion that was doing that. But getting back on topic, Christianity, religion, We help the country out. Homosexuality or homosexuals do not. There's nothing helpful about that lifestyle. We as Christians or our churches and stuff, because we're tax exempt, we can go to stores and either get donations or super discounted items that we can go back and give to people that are in need. We are community help. Homosexuality and homosexuals are not a community help like that. Not even companies can help to the extent that church can. There's limitations and stuff on what companies can do, but we as church and we can help people in the community and this country out far more, and we have. Now, it was pathetic to even try to use that example because it's quickly and easily shot down with that very fact. That's just the difference between those two. Wow, a big difference, might I add. Actions of good versus actions of deviancy. Good one. Now, another one of his arguments is that because homosexuals can hide their actions, but blacks and women and stuff like that, they can't hide or change what they are. Should homosexuals have to hide? They shouldn't be exhibiting and acting out all those very nasty scenery that they do at Outfest in front of children and stuff like that. I don't believe in that. I don't believe in showing your tail end like that out in front of children. I don't even believe in folks heterosexuals showing their tail end in front of children. Folks making out at Six Flags in line and stuff like that in front of kids, just all over each other like that. No, I don't believe in that kind of stuff. So there's a time and a place for that. Okay, so the next point is that since hate crime laws are unnecessary for homosexuals, are they then necessary for blacks and women? And shouldn't we remove hate crimes laws altogether? Now, the problem with this is that back in the day, all the way back in the day, it was necessary for blacks and women because the majority of people in the country were making laws against blacks and stuff like that, like the Jim Crow laws, where you had to meet unattainable circumstances just to vote and stuff like that. It was necessary back then. Now there's only a handful of people in this country that are like that. So my personal opinion, I don't think they're really necessary anymore, but back then they were, and that's when they were made. Today, homosexuals are trying to obtain this type of thing, and it's unnecessary. So that's the difference. The next point is that would we be satisfied knowing that if a KKK member hung a black person, would we be satisfied with just murder charges, or what we want more? What more do we need? Nobody does an act of crime based off of love. They do it off of hate. There are already laws against murder and any type of crime. So the next point he makes is that whatever laws are in place don't necessarily prevent crime. Hell, no law that's in place will necessarily prevent crime. What the law simply does is it gives consequences for acting on those crimes. The charge for murder can be the death penalty, and somebody will still commit murder. That's not going to stop them. So that's not even a valid point to make. I mean, we're getting to the point where we're pulling at straws here when you come up with something like that. Moving on.